to join us. Elizabeth, can you just give me a thumbs up if you can see the cool? Perfect. Just want to make sure I was sharing my slides. We're at 12:01, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. And I anticipate some more folks might join us during our lunch hour. But thank you, all of you who are here. We're really excited that you're joining us today for Lunch with LifeCourse. Today, we're going to be talking about how to support families to map and plan during the early years. Because we know that a lot of families can find it really overwhelming to not talk about future plans until kind of those more traditional transition years when their children, their students get to middle school. Today, we're focusing on how we can use simple tools, techniques, and frameworks to start conversations early and help families feel really confident about developing a vision and sharing that vision with people who can support them. So today's presentation, I'm just going to give a shout out to our partners. These presentations are made possible by the support of the Family Resource Network of Ohio, the Ohio Developmental Disabilities Council, our USAID partners, and the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities. And our presenters today will be me. I'm Jenna Allen. I work at Ocali as a transition to adulthood consultant. I'm also joined today by my colleague, Elizabeth Wheatmartian, who also works with me in Ocali. And really excited that Joy Nichols is joining us today from Sycamore Community Schools. She's an integrated preschool educator and will be sharing real examples of how she's used these tools with her students. So just to get started, we wanted to share a little bit of information with you about a project that we have in Ohio that you're all welcome to take part in as well. So if you like what you see today and you're wondering how you can get started with some of these same tools and resources that we're going to be talking about, there's a really easy way to do that. So we, with our partnership with the Department of Developmental Disabilities in Ocali, started an early transition planning pilot. And we started this in 2021. So during that year, we launched surveys to learn how educators and families in 3 regions of the state were already engaging in or not engaging in conversations and planning about adult life while students are still in elementary school. We followed that up with an intervention phase. So based on the information that we collected in 2021, what we found was that parents, families, educators were generally pretty interested in having these conversations and having them at an earlier time, but just weren't always sure how to do that. So during the intervention phase, we rolled out some simple tools and resources for families and educators to use and try out and give us feedback so that we could figure out how to provide additional supports for them. And then this year, we've continued those supports. So we've expanded the project. We're still working with those initial 3 pilot areas, but we also have resources and tools that are available across the state at this point. And we're continuing to collect feedback too to find out what supports people still need and how we can continue to grow and expand our project. And one really critical thing that I wanted to share with you as far as results that came out of this pilot were these survey responses. So when we launched our initial surveys, we found that a lot of the families and educators that were participating did feel like it was important to start thinking about adult life in those elementary school years. But they were a little bit divided on just how important that was. After families and educators were able to engage with some of these materials, 100% of them came back and said that they felt that it was very valuable and important to have these conversations. So that was very heartening to us. This really backed up that this is work that we can all do, we can all help support, and people are ready for it. We just need to be equipped to have those conversations. And then lastly, I just wanted to share some of the additional feedback that we received. We had some open-ended questions as part of the surveys, and we've received some really nice comments. And some of the themes that emerged from this were that these were pretty simple tools. People found them very approachable, easy to engage with. Not a lot of startup time needed to engage in these resources, which is exactly what we were going for. So that was really good news for us as well. And then we wanted to show you the site and kind of click around a little bit more so that you can see it again, in hopes that you'll go and visit and engage in some of the resources after today's presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing my slides for a moment and kick it over to Elizabeth to show you the site.
Hello, everybody. Give me 30 seconds as I try to quickly navigate something that I had pulled up prior. So the first thing I want to do is show you how to navigate to our early transition planning site. So you want to go to ohioemploymentfirst.org, and you can either type in early transition planning in the search bar and it will pop up, or you can go to transition planning. From there, you're going to click on early transition planning, and it will take you to our landing page. I'm going to take 3 minutes to show you our video that we created that really talks about the website and what the purpose is behind all of these tools and why we do that. So
thank you for taking the time to visit our early transition planning page on the Employment First website. This page is intended for teachers, other professionals, and caregivers of students in elementary and middle school before the transition plan becomes a required part of the IEP planning process. The Employment First Task Force understands that transition planning is critical to a student's future success. We also know that planning early for transition can lead to better outcomes when it comes to education, competitive employment, and independent living. With this in mind, we have put together some resources that you can use to start talking about adult life goals and visions at an early age. We have broken these supports and resources into 2 categories: Start Talking and Connect for support. In Start Talking, you will find different tools to help students, families, and educators talk about adult life goals and visions. Having these discussions helps provide a path for a student's learning at home, in the community, and in the classroom. In Connect for support, we have put together resources from some of Ohio's agencies that support families of students and youth with disabilities. Many of these agencies provide training, support groups, and other ways for families to feel supported through their journey. As you begin to click around the site, you will find tools that you can use in the classroom or at home to start planning what a good life looks like. Some of these resources, like Charting the Life Course, will provide prompts to help you and the youth start dreaming about their future. As you are out in the community or teaching a particular lesson, use these prompts to help youth connect the dots to think about what they want and don't want, and how developing skills and supports can help them get to where they want to go. The vision board can be used at home or at school. Youth can use drawings, written words, and picture cutouts to share their vision for future life. The youth might have goals such as learning how to cook, learning how to play with different toys, making friends, places they want to visit, or what pets they want to have. At school, the vision board could reflect what they wish to accomplish this year, what they want to be when they grow up, or where they want to live. Remember, there is no goal too big or too small. The possibilities are endless. These visions and dreams can help drive interests, find strengths, and show areas the student will need to develop in order to be the person they want to be. By using these tools and resources early, the IEP team will have a clearer focus and direction for when formal IEP transition planning starts at age 14. We know that transition planning at an early age can be challenging, but we feel these tools and resources will make it easier for you to help your youth dream big and plan for a fulfilling adult life. We would love for you to try out some of these tools and resources with your youth and tell us what your experience has been. You can do that by visiting our homepage and clicking on the survey button. We will use this feedback to make improvements to our website and make sure that we are helping make this journey a little easier. Thank you for stopping by, and remember, it is never too early to start planning for a bright future.
So I hope you enjoyed our little video. This really just talks about all of those things that we have on the website that you can use. And the idea of looking at that good life, it could be a big goal, it could be a small goal. I think that's really important to note and keep in mind that you don't have to have life's answers all at one time. You can start and kind of go through and plan from there. So in our Start Talking button, you'll have the different links to how to get that conversation started, whether you're a professional or a caregiver. And so you can click on all of those items here, charting the life course, which was mentioned in the video. It will take you to their landing page and some of our favorite tools, vision and dream boards. This is one of my favorite ways to get students actively engaged and kind of talking about what that future looks like. And I used to do these as like our get to know you activities at the beginning of the school year. And then I use them for IEP meetings later on. So they have that dual purpose. The State Employment Leadership Network's guided conversations. These are tools I don't think so much for little guys, but as they move into that middle school age, really starting to dive a little deeper. But it is a nice way to just start thinking about that framework and how to start those conversations with other providers, with other professionals, but more importantly, with your youth. And then the I'm Determined website is one of my favorites. It's going to provide you with a lot of resources and tools to start teaching self-advocacy and self-determination, which is a skill that we need to start instilling in our youth at such an early age so that they feel comfortable voicing their opinions. When you go to connect for supports, we're going to connect you to 4 of the leading organizations within Ohio. So you have the Department of Health, Ohio Family Network, Family to Family, and then the network or the Family Resource Network of Ohio. And each of those landing pages is going to really be more helpful to caregivers and parents. But again, as a professional, I have learned a lot connecting with those websites as well. And then last but not least, if you do visit our website and you're playing around and you're using and interacting with some of those tools, we really do invite you to take the survey. We offer it in English and in Spanish, and it only is going to ask you about the tools that you worked and engaged with. And we are checking these surveys quite frequently to make sure that we're implementing any changes or feedback that you are sharing. So please be honest. Feedback is a gift, and it is an option for us to create things that you guys need, because this is the purpose of this website, is to provide what you all want and give you the opportunities to tell us what's needed so that we can create it and make your life easier. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I feel like I talk really fast in these, so I apologize.
And if folks do have questions, please feel free to post those in the chat. Elizabeth and I will be monitoring that. We'll also probably have a little bit of time at the end of today's presentation for some live Q&A as well. But if there are no questions right at this moment, we'd love to kick it over to Joy to share some examples of how she uses these tools in her practice.
Awesome. So give me a second, make sure I'm sharing the screen.
Oops, you're muted, Joy, but your screen looks great.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect, yes.
Yay. Okay, thank you, whoever sent that. Okay, so let me go back Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So my name is Joy Nichols. I am a special ed teacher here at Blue Ash Elementary. I'm going to share with you a little bit about my journey and my students' journey with person-centered planning. I was exposed to person-centered planning in 1988, a very long time ago. And I have been using it with families since 1990. I have used it with kids all the way from 3 years through adulthood. And every time it looks completely different. And it has evolved through the years. So there are lots of different examples, but I want to kind of show you what it looks like right now. So 8 years ago, I moved down to the preschool. So I have a 3 to 6 class. It's an integrated class. So 50% are typically developing students and 50% are students who are on IEPs. So I just want to show you a little bit of what that looks like in my classroom. So let's get started and let's celebrate me. So early planning is so important. It really helps us get on the right path. As an educator, it helps me so much to be able to connect with my families, connect with my students, and as a community, help support the students that are in our classroom. So when I was asked to do this, Celia Schlomer asked, what's my why? Why do I do this with my families? So these are just a couple of my whys. My first one is I believe that all children should be celebrated and celebrated every single day. All children should have a right to dream for their future. All children have the right to an amazing life. All children and families have the right to dream and to dream big. All families have the right to advocate for their child and always have their thoughts heard. And person-centered planning creates that opportunity to have a shared sense of values, beliefs, and direction for the child, the family, and their community and school. It is an absolutely beautiful process. And I'm so excited for all of you who leave here today and say, I'm going to try this. And you're going to see just how amazing it is. It can be very messy. It's intriguing. It's going to get lots of questions going. It's adventurous. You have to be very brave to do this with your families. It's evolving. It may change daily, weekly, yearly. It's captivating. It will really pull you in. It's enlightening. And most importantly, it's life-changing. So my role, I feel, as an educator with this is to help my families to look beyond today. And so using person-centered planning and this visioning, it's that essential tool that helps them to look beyond. It gives parents permission to dream again. Some of the families that I've worked with, when they got that diagnosis, they kind of let go of their dreams and kind of focused on, this is what I need to do to help my child, and let go of that. So person-centered planning gives that permission back. You can dream, and you can dream big for your child, and giving the child that opportunity to make those dreams as well. It gives our families and our students their voices back so they can truly advocate for themselves. So it starts out by giving families an opportunity to advocate for those dreams, and then as the child gets older, an opportunity for them to take over and advocate for themselves. So how do I fit this into my community? The first thing that I do as an educator, especially in the early childhood, is I create a culture. I create a culture where children are celebrated every single day. One thing we have in our classroom is we have a giant wreath. And every time a child does a kind act for somebody, gives somebody a compliment, uses a kind word, celebrates their gifts, they go over and they put a ribbon on the wreath. And our hope is that by the end of the year, we have this wreath completely filled with ribbons to show how we have celebrated one another every day. We also have a community of understanding. We really understand one another, and we understand what the word gift means. So a 3-year-old, when I say, what gift do they bring? They're not going to say, oh, they bring cookies, but they might say kindness or love. So they really, truly understand when I say what gifts people bring to our community, what that means. And we celebrate friendship every single day. We look at how everybody brings gifts to our community, but there might be some areas where I'm really good at something. I might be great at art, but I struggle in math. And then I have another friend who's great at math, but they might struggle in art. And then we work together and we build those friendships to bring everybody up. We celebrate all children daily and the gifts they bring to our community. And we're going to talk in a couple of minutes about how that one-page portrait is completed for every child in the classroom and how that is a great opportunity to pull that in. We have an IEP celebration party, and it's just another way to celebrate the child as part of our community. And everybody, family, teachers, teacher assistants, our support staff, everybody is part of that celebration. And each child has an opportunity to talk and share, whether it's the child's birthday, their IEP celebration, or another day. Person-centered planning is part of the visioning preparation for the IEP celebration party. So that's kind of how I bring person-centered planning and bring it in every day to my classroom. So if you get to use person-centered planning, you're going to find out that it's going to bring a beauty to what you're already doing in the classroom. So some of you, if you're working with those younger kids, you might be doing home visits or at least parent-teacher conferences. So either one of those are both great opportunities to do that one-page person-centered celebration. So you are not adding one more thing to what you're already doing. I know as a teacher, sometimes when there's one more thing added on, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have the time. But person-centered planning, you can embed into everything that you're doing right now. So that one-page person-centered celebration or portrait, I have it just as part of my parent-teacher conference or my home visit. So it's nothing different and nothing added on. The visioning for the IEP document, everybody has to do visioning with families. So that is when I pull in that charting the life course and maps. And a lot of classrooms have student of the week, or somehow they celebrate a child every week. So that's where we work with that gen ed teacher when we were in school age, and we connect the student of the week with the classroom IEP celebration. In my classroom, because I'm the gen ed and the special ed teacher, that IEP celebration is just part of what we do to help support that child. So where do I begin as a teacher? I think the one-page portrait is a great place to begin. It's simple, it's to the point, and it gives a lot of information in one small area. So I include every student in my class. Everybody has one. I incorporate, like I said, into the home visit or part of the parent-teacher conference. And I make it a really important part of that child as they continue on when they transition to the next teacher. That receiving teacher opens up their cumulative folder. And when they see that, they get just a nice little snapshot of that child and how to best support them. And the feedback that I have gotten from whether it's a receiving teacher or the art teacher or somebody who doesn't know this child is, wow, this was great. You know, it wasn't test scores, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, but it was a great way to know the child quickly and how to best support them. So here are some different examples. On the left is probably a tool that where we talked about on the website that you can get. It's from Charting the Life Course, and it has just 3 simple questions: what people like and admire about me, what's important to me, and how to best support me. And then you just take that, you talk with the family, you talk with the child, you talk with their friends, and that is going to be part of their folder. On the right, if you want to, we just did this on Canva, one of the free websites. Again, what's important, or what do people admire about me? My happy face. I'm a happy little kiddo. I bond with others. What's important to me? My family, expressing my needs and what's happening to me, my independence. And how is the best way to support me? A routine is really important for me. Visuals and repeating directions with my name. So when you open that child's folder and you look at that, you really get a really nice, clear picture. It's a super easy, quick way to help with that person-centered planning. Here's just another example. This is my little friend Faison. And again, what do people admire about me? I'm handsome, I'm wise, I have a sweet voice. Talks about what's important to him, and then the best way to support him. For him, he needs you to spend a lot of time with him to make those attachments so that he can feel comfortable in new situations. And then one more example. This is my friend Daniel. Again, what do people admire about him? What's important to him, and the best way to support me. It's a wonderful tool. A lot of my families have taken it when they've gone to outside therapies, they've gone to Children's Hospital. One of my families took it to dance class to share with their teacher. But again, it's a nice, quick snapshot that gives you really important information to help this person to have a really supportive day. So person-centered planning, the next part is visioning with the family and with the community. So as a teacher, I feel my job in that is the person who facilitates the journey. And I like to use charting the life course and maps to help me as a tool for that. So what does it look like for me? So there are lots of different parts with it. The first thing I like to do is I like to meet with family to do that visioning to help prepare us for that IEP celebration. Then I also meet with all of the students in the class. I want to gain their thoughts. I want to know what they think of their friend in their classroom. Then I meet with the individual to get their input. Then I help create a format to share this information with the family and our learning community. It might be a poster, it could be a slideshow, it could be a vision board, or it could be even a photo album. Meeting with the family, start simple. And that's what I'm hoping today you guys find one thing that you're like, oh, that's fantastic. I'm going to start with that. So start simple. You might just start with that one-page portrait that you've already done with all your families at parent-teacher conference. And then you're getting ready to do that visioning part of the IEP. This is a great place. Just ask the question, what is the good life for your child? What does that look like and how do we get there? One simple question, and then you can be done. That might be all you want to start for right now. And that's fantastic. That has a lot of information coming at you. When you're ready to go to that next part with visioning, with the person-centered planning, you can expand and really make an opportunity for you to facilitate that beautiful conversation that goes between you and the family, the community, and the children about their dreams and the child's journey. So this is one of my students, Lenny, and this was his special day. For his IEP celebration as part of his visioning, his mom and dad came in, and you could see in the far right picture, they just had a couple pictures hanging up of things that he really enjoyed. And then mom and dad just shared some beautiful experiences with him. And then on the left, you see he brought in his favorite snack that he shared with everybody in class. And it was a beautiful celebration, and it made him very happy because he loves Vincent van Gogh, and his favorite is Starry, Starry Night. So we had that picture all over the room on that day. It's going to be unique for everyone. So on the left, you see one of my little friends. He put together a board that has different pictures of his vacation because that was something really important to him. And that is his good life. He wanted to talk about his vacation. The middle one is a book that I have right here. This family, Lucas's family, with him, they created a storybook that went in our book center in the classroom that the kids could look at all year long, and it was beautiful. And then on the right is my friend Michael with his mom, and he created a PowerPoint all about himself, and his friends helped him create it, and you can see that he loves all the continents of the world. And so you could see that throughout the whole PowerPoint, his love for geography. So the next step is that deeper experience that I just talked about. Again, I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want to kind of give you the big picture of what is possible. So let's take this walk with one of my students, a D tree. So the first thing we asked was, who is a D tree? And I created opportunities for everyone to answer the question. So I met with mom and dad and a D tree and her sister. I also asked teachers and other support staff about a D tree. And then I asked her friends in class a little bit about a D tree, and we'll get an opportunity to see everything they shared. So this is mom and dad, and what I do is I take big pieces of paper. Sometimes they're very large papers, like off a flip chart. Sometimes they're just big pieces of poster board, and then I write the titles on the top. So the first one is just, who is a D tree? And mom and dad said she's energetic, she's more focused than she was a year ago, she's happy, affectionate, silly, she's a naughty little goose, she's messy, she cares for everyone, she's a perfectionist, and she's energetic. She loves to run and explore the outdoors. What inspires a D tree? Being outdoors definitely inspires her. Music and singing, Costco pizza and mango juice inspire her. Math, strawberry ice cream, and drawing emotions. Then I asked the parents, tell me her story. For me to truly celebrate Aditri, I need to know what is her backstory. So I asked the family, just tell me a little bit about her story. They told me she's a pure soul. She's a little angel of their home. She was born on August 15th, 2018. Her first smile brought happiness into the home. And I won't read all of this, but that's just an opportunity to the family to really go through and share the whole story from maybe the time that they found out that they were expecting their child all the way up to how old they are now and where they are in their life. And it's just a great opportunity as me as an educator to see the journey that she's had before me. And I know that other people on my team have commented on how appreciative they've been to be able to see the whole story from mom and dad. The next section is we talk about what are your dreams, getting ready to answer what is your good life. And so for Aditri, it was surrounded by good souls. They want her to be really happy. They would like her to be in class with typical kids. They want her to live a life how she wants, not how other people want it, but truly what she wants. They want her to be happy with herself. They want her to be able to get in a dance class or a tumbling class with typical kids. And that she finds people who are quiet and lonely, because that is where she truly makes a connection and makes a difference. Then we ask them, what is that good life? So think of all those things that you have been dreaming. Let's put that down. And then what is going to help us to get to that good life? So this is called the trajectory on the left side with charting the life course. And then we just put it on a larger piece of paper, gave us a little bit more room, and just talked about what is that good life for Aditri? What is going to get us there? And then what are the things that we don't want and what's going to keep us away from there? We also talked about what were their nightmares, what were their worries, the things that kept them up at night. What are those things that guide you away from the good life? So Aditri not being included with her typical peers, that is something that they really worry about. They worry about her not being respected, and they worry about her being sad because of these things. And I know Aditri's family, as well as several of my other families, felt it was so nice to be able to get those worries down on paper and for people to be able to see those to make sure that those don't happen. Then we talked about Aditri's gifts and her talents and her strengths. She loves to connect with people. She's not afraid. She's always willing to try new things. She's bold, she's happy, and she loves to explore. We also talked about her struggles, her needs, and her not yets. Her expression and her speech fluency are areas that she struggles. Following all directions, not just the ones that she wants to follow, are areas of her not yet. And not being able to be in class with typical peers, that is something that the family really worries about. So I asked the families to dream big, really, really dream big. End of the next calendar year, when she is finishing kindergarten, going on to first grade, they said we want her speech, her expression to be so much more. We want her to be able to come home and share with us what happened at school, and if she got hurt, to let us know what happened with that as well. We want her to be more independent, being able to eat on her own. We want her included, not separated, but in with a group, and to learn the regulation skills to help be able to do that. And her writing, we would love to see her start writing. And then we talked about in 5 years, so when she transitions from the elementary to our next school in 5 years, where would you like to see her in 5 years? And they said, we still want her independent. We don't want her relying so much on us. 70% educationally, we would like her that much closer to with her typically developing peers. And then we talked about 10 years from now in high school, where do you see Aditri when she's in high school? They said they would love to see her driving. They'd love her to know the value of money, some financial management. And they want it to be up to Aditri who she connects with. They want to leave that up to her and clarity of what she wants after high school. And then I said, as an adult. Now, again, Aditri is 4 years old. I said, now think about it. Where would you like to see her as an adult? In the community, in the workplace, living in education. And in the community, they said they wanted her to be a person of humanity, to be included, to be respecting of other people and people to respect her, and for her to know who's in need and be able to meet those needs. They would love for her to be a doctor, to treat children with special needs, or at least a job where she can help other people and be a resource. They'd love for her to live next door so that she can still be independent, but she's close enough if she needs a little support. Educationally, they would love for her to finish her bachelor's, but they don't want to limit her. And then we talked about where are we going. We went back to where we would like to see her a year from now, and then what do we need and who do we need? So for the expression, we talked about we needed speech. We need to make sure that we have speech on board. That independence, eating on own, we want to work with our OT and with some outside therapies. Writing, we want to work with our OT. And that really important part of inclusion, we want our speech, our OT, our special ed, our gen ed, and all our special area teachers to come together to help support that dream. So it was really an opportunity to empower this family to dream and to empower Aditri, because this is her life. This is all of their life. And the family afterwards, they were so proud of themselves and so excited that they wanted to share this. And so they asked if actually I would share theirs with you. It was an opportunity to let their voice be heard loud and strong with everybody on the team. So I want to share real quick. I hope this works. So this is Aditri's part of her IEP celebration that she did with her friends. Can you guys see this?
We can see the slide with the hearts.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we asked Aditri and all of her classmates, who is Aditri, what inspires her, and what is her good life? So her answer was, I am Aditri. I love purple and pink. I am silly. I love making music. I love to smile, and I love math. I love my family. My family makes me very happy. I love my friends. I love art, building things. I love to do things all by myself. She loves to be independent. She loves dramatic play. It makes her very happy. She loves math. Math is her place, her go-to. It's an area where she celebrates every day. And then we asked each of the kids to talk a little bit about Aditri. So this was Harrison. He said, I like playing with her in the sand, in the sensory table. I like playing in the flower stand with her. We like dramatic play.
Oops, Joy, for
Yes.
some reason we're not seeing your slides advance.
Oh, you're not? Okay. Okay.
You might have to stop sharing and then reshare the new PowerPoint. So if you go down to share, go down to share screen and then click.
All right, so let me come here. All right.
There. But now you're muted. Still muted.
All right, so question, when I go into that, it says that I have to be muted when I share. Last time something came up to show me, they gave me a choice, but it didn't come up this time. Do you want me to try it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can try it again, and I'll try to send you a request to unmute, see if that makes a difference.
Okay, great.
Nope, still muted.
Okay. Okay, now I'm unmuted, but I stopped sharing the screen as well.
Could you, Joyce, share that with Jenna and like Jenna or Elizabeth share it, and then you keep talking?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Kate. That was a good suggestion.
Sure.
Thanks, everybody. Sorry for the.
Yes, thank you for being patient with me. Awesome. Jenna, do you have it?
Let me see. Did you send it to me in chat or through email?
Oh, through email. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No problem. I gotcha. Okay. Ah, perfect. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Let me just move that over.
And while we're pulling this up, so we take pictures daily in our classroom, and we used to put them on Shutterfly. Shutterfly doesn't work anymore. So we put it in a Google Doc. So what we did, for just so you guys know where the pictures came from, is the kids were able to go through and look online and choose which pictures they wanted in the slideshow. And then Aditri was able to put her pink and purples, and those are her favorite colors. She picked each of the slides for that.
Awesome. And is everybody able to see them now?
We're good.
Awesome. So we'll just go ahead and click through them. So the first one, like I said, she said, I'm Aditri. I love purple and pink. And again, the kids get the opportunity to pick all the backgrounds. She's silly. She loves making music. She loves to smile, and she loves math. And this you have to click twice for some reason. So Aditri loves her family. So there's a picture of her family on the left, and then when her parents came into the classroom. She loves her friends. She loves art. Sorry. Building and making things, and that makes her very, very happy. She loves to do things by herself. She's a very independent person. Dramatic play makes her very happy. She loves to dress up. Math makes her very happy. That is definitely one of her gifts. And then I just read this about Harrison. Harrison was very excited. He was able to pick pictures for the background for this one, and there's a picture of them in dramatic play. The next one is Mavis. Mavis likes to do Play-Doh with her. They like to be doctors, and they love to do partner work together. This is Aravs. He likes to do math with Aditri, and he reads books with her. So after Aditri created this, on her day of her IEP celebration, she then presented this, and as each slide came up with the student's name, they would present it together. Fun, Play-Doh, and snack is what Iker says he loves to do with Aditri. Lincoln says Aditri, he loves to do the sensory table and Play-Doh with her. Sloan said, I like to do sensorial and language with Aditri. We love to be doctors. Manya said, I do dramatic play with her. Look at us in the dollhouse. And if you look to the right, they're sharing a picture of their first play date together. Ayan said, we like the dramatic play center. I like to do the flower store with Aditri. And the kids have so much fun picking out the pictures for their own slide. And then we just asked each of them, tell me what gift Aditri brings to our community. We heard that she is kind and nice. She's a good listener. She brings smiles and love. She brings a little bit of craziness. She's grateful and quiet. And then I just asked if they had any extra thoughts about Aditri. Harrison said, I like her craziness. She is grateful. And said she brings smiles and love. Arav said she's a good listener. Mavis says she's kind and we love dramatic play. Lincoln, she's fun. Sloan says she doesn't scream anymore. She's quiet. Manya says she's nice. She's a friend. And Iker says he loves books and snack and she's lots of fun. So then what we did is we took those questions from that 3-question portrait And then we incorporated that into her slideshow, and then she was able to put pictures with it. So the what do people like and admire about me? My happy face. I'm a happy little kiddo. I bond with others. What's important to me? Independence, family, and expressing my needs. What's happening to me? How to best support me? Routine, visuals, and repeating directions with my name. And then we looked at Aditri from the very beginning of the year, her very first picture and the very first day. And everybody said, oh, she was so tiny. Oh, look at how small she was. And then the next slide shows her now where she is. And then it just says, kindergarten, here I come. She's getting ready to be a blue ash owl. So now hopefully I can go back to Jenna. Can I go back to my original presentation now and still be unmuted?
Here's hoping.
Okay, so let's try this.
Oops, it looks like it did mute you again, but still muted.
Can I send this to you, Jenna?
You sure can, yep. And I just, while you're doing that too, thank you for those of you who put comments in. We have some nice comments here. Heather said she sees Montessori materials, loves those. Kate commented that she loves it as well, that it's such a confidence builder. And Jenna commented that she can see what a caring, compassionate community culture you're building. She's curious to see how these concepts trickle into the child's next year and future years within the school.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll let you. What?
Yeah, we did have one quick question too while I'm pulling the slides up. Perhaps you can answer. Roxanne wanted to know, Joy, if you were using the one-page portrait with children with and without special needs, or just for
Yes.
your...
No, everybody has it in the class. Yep. So it is part of, they all have a folder, and it is just part of that folder. So if I do home visits, most of the time I do it at the home visit, but some of the families weren't able to schedule home visits. So we just do it as part of the parent-teacher conference. But yeah, every single student, whether they're on IEP or not on IEP, everybody has that one-page portrait.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and the slideshow that I just shared with you, that is also something that we share with the receiving team, all the special area teachers. And again, they were all excited. A lot of my special area teachers wanted to know if we could do that for every school, every student in the building. So I think we were down the blue cloud. Yep. Thank you. So what's your dream? What's your good life? What makes you happy? What inspires you? I really encourage all of you to try person-centered planning, but try it on yourself first. Look at yourself and say, what's my dream? What's my good life? What are the things that make me happy and what inspires me? And I think giving your time to reflect on that really will help you when you do this the first time with your families. Jenna, the next one. So visioning is an opportunity to look at where we were, our story, where we are now, our present, and where we are going, our future. And so I challenge all of you guys today to be brave, just to dip your toe in just a little bit. Take just one step in person-centered planning and keep it simple. Really start out simple. Like I said, I've been doing this since 1990, so a really long time. But look at which step truly speaks to you as an educator. Is it that who, where you make a giant poster and everybody puts up a word that describes? Is it the dream part? Just talking to the family saying, what is your dream? What is your good life? Or is it the story of the child? Do you just want to take time and just document and write down what was their story? The one-page portrait, I hope all of you guys definitely do that. Or is it the part where you talk about where are we going, that next step? So it is time for all of us to celebrate all the children and their dreams, because everybody has the right to dream and dream big. So it is in the journey that we learn, grow, and experience community. This is how we find our path to the good life. So I just want to say a couple thank yous. The first one is to my amazing community of learners that I have this year and their wonderful families. They were so excited about everything I was sharing today. So I just listed their names down there. Sloan, Iker, Aditri, Manya, Harrison, Ayansh, Arav, and Lincoln. Mavis, Faison, Daniel, Mateo, Avian, Colin, Gabrielle, and Andrew. So those are all my little ones. And then down below that are all the teachers, the speech, the PT, the OT, my team teachers that I work with all the time, as well as my administrators. I just want to thank everybody for always supporting us. And then there's a couple pictures of our little ones. So this is my morning community. You see it got a little bigger from the beginning of the year to now. And this is my afternoon community. And then a very special thank you to my past students and the families. They helped me to kind of learn about visioning with them through the years. So I listed a lot of my past families that had pictures also in this presentation. And one of the families, Miranda, she is listed on there. Her mom does a podcast called Loma. If you guys get an opportunity, they have a beautiful podcast on person-centered planning that is absolutely fantastic. So if you get a chance to listen to that, I think it's the next slide. Oh, it's not. This just says, make your life a masterpiece. Imagine no limitations on what you can be, have, or do. And I think I have two more. And that's a special thanks to my administration, because I couldn't do this without them. They're very patient with me and all my fun, crazy ideas. And then the last one, yes. So this is Kim Albrecht. I had her daughter in kindergarten. And when we first started person-centered planning, she is a very driven person. She's like, what are you doing? We need to get down to writing the goals. And now looking back, she's like, wow, I had no idea what you were doing so many years ago. But she has just a beautiful one on person-centered planning. So if you guys get an opportunity to listen to that on the Loma Special Needs podcast, it is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for listening and celebrating with me today. I love absolutely what I do, and I'm very passionate, and I hope all of you guys get an opportunity to do person-centered planning with your families. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love all those pictures, Joy. They just made my whole week. And it's such a good reminder too, to do that with the work that we're doing, especially these little ones. They grow so fast. It's good to get those pictures while we can. We have just about 5 minutes left. If anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand, and we can unmute you if you're having difficulty with that, or feel free to drop questions in the chat. Just while you're doing that too, just let you know, when you exit today's presentation, there will be just a super short survey for you to fill out. We try to keep it really quick, really easy. If you can take just 30 seconds to fill that out before exiting, we so appreciate it. It really helps us continue to offer sessions like this. And also, we would remind you that, one of the ways that you can engage with this work is to visit that early planning pilot page and try the tools and give us some feedback so that we can continue this work together. Because as Joy, I think, did a really great job of showing, it takes a team, a village, all of us. Nobody can do this work on their own. So we're all here to support each other. I do see a question from Roxanne about, hi Joy, what is an IEP celebration?
An IEP celebration is just an opportunity to celebrate the child. So when we come together, used to be called an IEP meeting, we just talk about the purpose of the gathering is to celebrate all that the child has accomplished over the past year and look forward to what they're going to be able to accomplish over the next year. So we've kind of taken the IEP meeting and made it more centered around the child, and it's truly a celebration of that child. Does that make sense? I think it's a different mindset. It's a different way of looking at coming together for that IEP.
I love that you call it that too, rather than just IEP meeting. That sounds so dry now that I've heard you call it an IEP celebration. It's just a completely different approach that I love.
Yeah, and ours really takes the whole day. So there's at one point that celebration where the parents, we're actually going through the document, but it continues throughout the whole day. The child brings in their favorite snack. We show the slideshow and just really, truly celebrate that child for the entire day.
Thanks so much. And I see Elizabeth shared our last slide. Thank you for that. We have a couple of resources listed here. Also, we have our email addresses too. Please feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any questions or you would like us to share additional resources. I know we're all pretty revved up about this work and like to participate in it with others. If there are no additional questions, thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today, for your great questions and comments and participation. We did record today's session and it'll be available soon on the FRNO website. That's www.frnohio.org. And I dropped the link for that in the chat earlier, but I'll drop it one more time now, just in case anybody wants to reference this in the future. But without further ado, we hope you have a great rest of your afternoon, and thanks for sharing this time together with us.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Yes, I'm using, did someone ask if I'm using the one-page center with a preschooler? Yes. Yeah, so I use it with all my students in preschool. So every student has the one page portrait. Yep.
Joy, I saw a question about if the Starry Night pick is the one, is that from an IEP celebration?
Yes. Yes.
Can I ask a question real quick to Joy? Joy, this is wonderful. This is Beth, and you're just for this crowd. Joy is going to be speaking to some EI providers about this concept as well. And Joy, it's so good. We just need, all of us collectively need to think about with EI families, because we don't have classrooms and such, but these concepts, I love how it takes charting the life course. It makes it appealing, bright colors and versus checklists and such. It's just such a cool way to everything you said, celebrate the child, celebrate families. And I see Itara there, and Itara is presenting with you next week too. Hi, and Brittany is on here from Ocala. So our challenge, Joy, in Itara is this same thing with EI in mind. So we're going to be creating as we go along here for EI, building on what you've got, Joy.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of my families, it was so exciting. So when I did this with a lot of my families who have 3-year-olds, they said, no one's ever asked us these questions before.
Right.
This is so exciting. And they every single family I've ever done this with have just absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it.
So we've been trying to ask these questions in EI, and this is such a more, I don't even know the word, just so much more natural and celebratory as tools versus checklists and timelines and all that kind of stuff. So exciting. Thank you so much.
Well, I am very appreciative of my families and everybody allowing me to share their journeys with all of you. So yeah, I'm very lucky, very, very lucky. Well, thanks, ladies, for letting me share with all of you. Sorry, I had some technical issues there.
No worries at all. Thank you so much, Joy. That was just wonderful. I'm going to be definitely sharing this recording with other folks because it's just such great stuff.
Yeah, I was it's been several years now, but I presented on the IEP celebration at the Ocala when it was face-to-face. I guess it was last year, it was face-to-face. And just the people who responded back to me afterwards, like emailed me and asked questions, it's just been so exciting. People who are just, oh, I want to try the IEP celebration. I want to try, I want to look at it a different way. I want to change my mindset. It just has been so exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting. So I know that was a little different, the IEP celebration, and this is, more that really focused on the visioning, that person-centered planning. But I think, how the two come together is just really amazing.
Yeah. And I like that it's really just a whole series of conversations and little steps too. So people
Yes.
can start
Yes.
wherever it feels right for them, wherever it feels good, and build from there.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely tell people, find the thing that really speaks to you and then just go with that, and just focus on that. And then the other stuff, it just gives, you can just go more in depth, as time goes on.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank
Well,
you.
thank you for letting me share today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And thanks for everybody else who's still on too. We also hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week. So
Awesome.
we'll see you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.